just to let you know, my back has been hurting really a lot recently, so yeah. Today guys, we're going to talk about Bali. If you know what Bali is basically a French show aimed at little kids that's based off a little children's book. How I came across this cartoon is actually kind of interesting. I was basically talking to one of my friends who lives in France about a show called X Duck X, which, by the way, is one of the funniest things I've ever seen. Anyways, he basically showed me this cartoon called Bali. He said I would like it, and I decided to give it a fair watch. Now, when I watched Bali, it reminded me of, believe it or not, Doug. And there's many reasons. Both shows are slice of life, and both of them deal with very light conflicts. Also, both have a main character that has a lot of dream sequences. I really like the show's art style, especially the design of Bali. You can tell that Bali's a dog. At the same time, his design is quite unique. Now, the writing of this show is pretty basic, like really basic. Then again, it was based off a children's book series, so I'm not that surprised. To give an example, there's an episode of Bali where the city that Bali is in suffers through a heat wave, and Bali and his family try to find ways to cool down. Eventually, Bali has a fantasy where he meets a snowman, and he finds out that being under the shade is cool. Eventually, Bali gets the idea to basically hang out on a pool while under a shade. There's another episode where Bali and his class basically make a model city out of blocks based off of their favorite book series, and Bali accidentally tumbles it down. He basically has a fantasy with the main character of his favorite book series, and eventually decides to own up to his mistakes. A lot of the stories in Bali are kind of like that. They have a simple premise, a simple concept, and a simple conflict, and a simple solution. It's a very simple show. It's actually kind of calming in a sense. Now, Bali doesn't try to tell as many jokes as Doug. Its main focus is to like tell a story and stuff. It also has musical numbers, which unfortunately I'm not really a big fan of. In my opinion, they're not the worst, but they're something I actively skip. Then again, they might be only not that good in the English dub I've been watching. Maybe they're perfectly fine in the French dub, but I wouldn't really know that. Personally, I would give Bali an average rating of 5 out of 10.